Hey guys, welcome to the Cross Thread, and today's video is going to be on Assassin's Creed before Black Flag. In this video, I'm going to explain the previous games on Assassin's Creed before Black Flag, which is Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations, and Assassin's Creed 3. I'm explaining this today because I thought about it. I was thinking, for people that haven't played the previous games I just named, why not, make a video about it so I can tell how it all started up until Black Flag. So now I'm going to talk about, the first one I'm going to talk about is Assassin's Creed. Basically, it's Desmond is captured by Abstergo and forced to use a machine called the Animus to explore Altair. Altair is an assassin that he had to go back in time to do his memories during the time of the Third Crusades. Desmond begins to witness events after Altair breaks all three tenets of the Assassin Brotherhood while attempting to stop Robert de Sabab from taking a piece of Eden. Altair's quest eventually leads him to face the de Sabab in the presence of King Richard of England, warning the king of de Sabab plot to kill him. Altair defeats de Sabab, but with his last words, de Sabab reveals where the 10 Templars, the last being of Al-Milam, who now holds the piece of Eden. So basically, Altair is really after the piece of Eden, which is a very powerful weapon. Altair returns to face Al-Milam, struggling to fight through the illusions created by the piece of Eden, but eventually kills Al-Milam. Al-Milam, I think, was his it was his master. He eventually turned on him for some reason. I don't know why, but the piece of Eden gave him some powers to make clones of himself, and it was having a hard time fighting him. His life is spread by Lucy Stillman. She's an assassin working as a mole with Abstergo. As she claims they need to further examine his memories later, he comes to learn that a former test subject had left a message on Desmond, so Desmond can see it, foretelling the end of the world in 2012. As y'all heard of that before. Then in Assassin's Creed 2, Lucy returns and breaks Desmond out of Abstergo, taking him to an assassin safe house and introduce him to Sean, a historian, and Rebecca, their technical support really. Using an improved version of the Animus, which is the Animus is where Desmond goes in and goes back in time to review his ancestors, his assassin ancestors, basically. So he takes a witness to Enzio Auditore di Firenze. He's the second assassin that he has to go in medieval times and do his bidding, really. Shortly before the execution of Enzio's father and brothers by order of the corrupt official working for the Templars, he and his mother and sister take the hiding to Monterigoni Villa. I think that's how you pronounce it. It was owned by his uncle Mario, who helps train Enzio in the ways of an assassin. With help of his allies like Leonardo da Vinci, methodically he assassinated the lower ranked Templars while learning that Borgia has acquired a piece of Eden called the Apple. That's another name that they call the piece of Eden in the Assassin's Creed game, the Apple. Eventually Enzio concerns Borgia, who hands over the piece of Eden. Ezio is inducted into the ranks of the Brotherhood and believed to be a prophet based on their codex. Based on their codex. Enzio uses both the apple and the papal staff to reveal the chamber ancient technology inside. He is addressed by a hologram of 100 females that are called themselves Minerva, who speak directly to Desmond through Enzio. Next, Minerva, she basically explains society had predated humanity's, but like a great disaster nearly wiped them out, something like that, and warns that another event like that could really happen. So putting the fate of humanity in Desmond's hands. At this discovery, Desmond and his allies find the safe house has been compromised by Abstergo, and they flee. Now go on to the Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Desmond and his allies retreat to the ruins of Monterigoni Villa, and Desmond goes in the Animus and continues Ezio's memory, because I think he didn't probably finish it, specifically to identify the location of the apple, which is the piece of Eden. After facing against Rodrigo Brigara, Enzio returned to Monterigoni and but the Vela is still attacked by the forces under the command of Cesar Bigora, Rodrigo's son. Mario is killed and the apple is stolen. Ezio vows to revenge by helping him free the people of Rome from Borgia's family. As Ezio works covertly, like, you know, undercover sort of, not trying to be seen, to turn the city against the Bigoras, he gains followers that want to join him because, you know, Ezio trains them. So since those followers want to follow him, Ezio trains them in the way of an assassin. Ezio then chases down Caesar, and eventually he captures him and recovers the apple, which is the piece of Eden. The assassins lead the fight against Caesar and remains loyal to the Bergara troops. Eventually, Ezio throws Caesar from the castle walls and then basically kills him. Ezio takes and hides the apple under the Colosseum, and the presence of Desmond is able to navigate through the underground chambers beneath the Colosseum to locate the apple. As he picks it, Desmond is witness to another hologram figure calling herself Juno, and he controls Desmond to stab Lucy before he falls into a coma because Lucy has defected to the Templars. That's, yeah, another way of saying it, really. Okay, to move on now to Revelations. Desmond comes on in a virtual area with the Animus, is called the Animus Island, where he meets the digital personality of Subject 16. Subject 16 explains from the trauma of stabbing Lucy, Desmond must complete the memories of both Altair and Ezio now to be able to separate his mind from theirs and to allow him to come out of his coma. Because yeah, I was gonna. However, doing so he destabilizes the island. Yeah, he destabilizes the island as the Animus recovers its memory segment, and at one point, Subject 16 sacrifices himself to allow Desmond to continue. Desmond rejoins Ezio's story many years after the Brotherhood. When Ezio is curious to the assassin's origins, he has traveled to Mesaf, I think that's how you call it, to locate their original headquarters. He found Altair's library, though it is locked by 5 keys, which the Templars are also seeking. Ezio meets and falls in love with this Sophia Soder girl, whatever. Eventually, Ahmed is revealed as an agent for Templars and is killed by Salem, this guy named Salem, I think, who thanks Ezio. Yeah, he thanks Ezio for his help, but banishing him from the city for his own good. So he thanks Ezio, then he banishes him for his own good. So I guess he was probably looking out for him. Ezio uses the keys to witness Altair's memories following the death of Al-Mulam, which is Al-Mulam is Altair's master that turned on him, that used the apple against him. This showed that Altair showed Altair losing his wife and youngest son, and his yeah, that's what it basically showed within the assassin, followed by 20 years of exposed exile towards Altair. Eventually, Altair returned to Mesaf and killed the superior of that place, I think, and he retook control. So that was in Altair's library. And Ezio's present, like as in like there's no more past, and his present in the game. He and Sophia go to Mesaf when all that incident occurred with Altair, and open the library to find Altair's corpse and the piece of Eden he possessed. Ezio leaves the piece as well as his assassin tools and speaks directly to Desmond, knowing was only conduct for him really, and hopes to find the answer that he needs. So Desmond is then approached by another holographic figure named Jupiter, who explains that their society had tried to use technology to stop the destruction of the Earth's surface by a massive solar flare, but it failed. But then they had stored their prosperity of knowledge in several vaults linked to a central vault, which Desmond must use to stop another simpler flare that will soon occur. Desmond recognizes the location in New England. Then he wakes up from his coma, finding Rebecca, Sean, and to his surprise, he actually found his father, William, there. After learning that Lucy died from the stabbing, he informs the location in New York and the temple that will save humanity for what he sees it as. Then now the Assassin's Creed 3, how that goes is Desmond and his allies arrive at the temple entrance in a cave in New York area on October 31st, 2012. And opens the door using the Apple of Eden, discovering a large chamber of prosecutors technology behind it, including another door requiring a key. Desmond suddenly is put into the Animus, just suddenly out of nowhere. Just put into the Animus. He experiences the most memories of Haytham Kenway, which is Connor's father, which you're gonna learn about in a few seconds, who is like revealed as a British agent of the Templars. That was a real shocker right there. Connor, which is who he lived through the American Revolution, as well as Connor's father did, which is Kenway. Kenway had gone to the colonies in America with a stolen medallion. He recruited Templars allies, including Charles Lee, and worked to gain the trust of the Mohawk people. Yeah, that's what I call them. The Mohawk people, to get them to show them the location of the temple. But his annoyance really got to him, so the medallion did not open the temple for him. Like, the temple didn't really open for him. Connor, as a young boy, witnessed Lee and his troops set fire to his village, killing his mother. But you know, that was real tragic for him. Years later, he is shown a piece of Eden through which Juno speaks to him and instructs him to get training from master assassin Achilles Davenport. Achilles takes Connor and teaches him the ways of an assassin. He was rejected a few times, but he kept trying, so eventually he got to him. And he introduced him to the Patriots in the Revolution, through which Connor stopped several people like Washington. During these memories, Desmond does recover and from that fugue state in the Animus, and helps his allies recover the power source to power the Templars to scatter around the globe, including the one held by Extergo. Connor eventually, which is Kenway's son, he encounters his father. But Kenway, he offers him a ceasefire, as in, well, I want to make a opposition. He says, because they're after the same guy called Benjamin Church. So, but during their investigation, Kenway warns Connor that about the Patriots. So, worried about the allegiance of the various tribes to the British are seeking to remove Connor's people from their land. Connor eventually hunts Lee down and kills him, taking the medallion and ending the Templars' threat, really. So, he is in a disappointment and to find his village abandoned, saved from the piece of Eden. Through it, Juno tells him to bury the amulet. As December 21st approaches, the signs of the solar flare begin to ensue. So Desmond and his allies find the buried medallion, and he uses it in the inner temple door. Behind it, which controls a sphere, Juno appears to encourage Desmond to touch it, but Minerva appears and warns him, no, don't do that, warning that this will be a release to Juno, and as it will be nothing good. It may protect against the solar flare, but she was saying it will be a threat to mankind in the future. But Juno counters back and says, explaining that Minerva would rather have most of humanity wiped out, with Desmond saved in the temple to emerge as a religious figure to lead the survivors, but ultimately leading into conflict, really. So Desmond realizes he knows what he wants to do. Desmond releases Juno, believed humanity would have a better chance of fighting Juno, as his body just suddenly gets filled with massive amount of energy from the control sphere, and an aura surrounds the earth and protects it from the solar flare. Juno tells the fallen Desmond, which is he's not there. He's not there right now because of that massive energy that went through his body. So he tells Desmond while he's laying there that his work is done, and now it's time for her to do her work. But hey guys, that's the end of this video, but I hope you really liked it. I try to cut it short as much as possible. I didn't want to make it too long for you guys. I just really cut out all the extra stuff and try to get focused on the main stuff you really need to know about Assassin's Creed and all the other ones before Black Flag. I'm really looking forward to playing Black Flag, and when I play Black Flag, I'm gonna have some walkthroughs, so please check me out. I'm gonna have that series go through my channel, and I hope you like it. But anyways, this concludes videos, and I hope you like it. If you did like it, please hit that like button, please comment, subscribe, especially. Thank you very much, and all right, peace.